Hey guys, welcome to another session of Epic 7. So today we're going to go through a bit of my arena experience so far. Obviously I've entered the battle. I wanted to basically gamble on my speed versus Scurry here, because Scurry usually is built for really high speed. He wants to get that combat readiness up. But because I gambled that if he has 100% crit rate, he might have to be sacrificing some speed. So I kind of gambled it with my Judith here. It seems that my Judith has faster speed. At least we rolled faster than Scurry here, but it's still really risky. As you can see, Scurry is like right up there with DN. So I don't know if I can actually push past them, but otherwise I wanted to use Judith's S3, see if we could get faster than Scurry. We did. Okay, we did. So next I'm going to use Yuna's buff. So it buffs attack and speed.
Were you waiting?
So what this will do, at least it will give elemental advantage for Sid's S3. Now if Scurry is built for crit and speed, as you can see he was really fast, he must be neglecting a bit of defense and health, unless he got just, this guy has like the most amazing gear, which you have to be really lucky and spend a lot of resources to get. So I'm going to try to kill him with an S3. With the speed buff I have an elemental advantage, so even though it's earth going against fire, it should act as if I'm doing water. So there you go, we killed him.
Shall I attack?
And then next one I want to kill would be probably Lorena, because she's probably going to be the strongest. So before even DN gets a hit, as you can see, because when I killed, our combat readiness actually improved. I'm gonna go for Lorena next. With the speed buff and I have 100% crit on my Sid, I should be able to do a defense break. Yeah, there you go. And this should ensure the kill with Sez, and Sez should be able to one-shot her. And hopefully we take out Assassin Cartuja as well. But if we don't, he might at the most kill off Sez, and we should still be fine.
You pitiful beings. Death is your repentance.
I'll show you the end.
Most of these guys could one-shot my Sez here, so I don't expect him to live. Oh, he lived. Okay, and he's stunned anyway.
Give me strength.
So the next batch of moves is trying to break down his barrier and kill him ASAP. And every time I hit him, he's going to be releasing a bit of his combat readiness here. But I'm gonna burn. I want to break down his barrier so my Sid could get decent damage.
And my opponent?
I still have my speed buffs.
This is going
Oh,
to hurt.
perfect. I got lucky there on Dust Devil roll.
Look at me.
So we should win this. My Sez could dive here though. Judith is now stealth, but next hit my Sez is dead. She'll go off my Sez in priority next.
Is it my turn?
Oh, I could. It doesn't really matter. We already won, so
While you blink.
I think I'll get punished.
This is going
Oh,
to
we got
hurt.
lucky. We got lucky. Nice.
Do you want me to do anything else?
So I kind of wanted to make this video because you know, I've been having a lot of fun in the arena. I think arena is probably the most fun in this game. The reason is because, like, if you really think about it, if you have like all this great gear, you finish off Abyss 80, you finish off like the raid, you can actually take on all the raid bosses. Obviously this is for like really pro players in the future. There's only one place left to kind of show off your units, your builds, your gear, and and that's arena. It's the most competitive. And so I'm on Challenger 4 right now, as you can see. Each week as it progresses, it gets harder for me to climb up the ladder. But I'm pretty proud that you know, I'm facing like mostly all, you know, 6-star max level 60 units, which like have like crazy moonlight summons. Obviously, you can see here my victory, and I don't know if there's a, you know, death ratio or whatever. But you can see my battle logs actually. I'm not ashamed to share this. But you can see how many losses I have. Now usually I do have a couple where my defense team actually does well. My defense team is exactly the same as my offense team right now. Basically it's banking on you being able to one-shot your enemy before they get a hit on you. So I'm gonna go into my build right now. Again, this is currently where I am at in arena. Now originally I used to be like, you know, swapping Lorena in, swapping Crow in, depending on the team I'm fighting, but I'm kind of getting too lazy, so I'm trying to build one team and trying to make them really good. Missing a couple things, like obviously if I'm taking on a really tanky team, my team won't be able to sustain the battle. So like tanks and healers, they won't be able to sustain the battle unless there's a one way that I can like you know, maybe kill off their DPS really quick. But most tanks have Aureus, that 4-star artifact that is able for the tank to take damage, a certain percentage of damage from all the other allies to themselves, which is annoying because one of my strategies is I have to be able to one-shot at least one of the DPS, if not two, right? So as you saw in that previous one, I was able to at least one-shot Scurry there, and then one-shot Lorena, but I got lucky on the Lorena kill, and then Assassin Kotuja came down really easy because I had, you know, so many DPS units. Now this team is not like, it's not brand new. I saw someone do it and it inspired me to do it. This other person had a way better team comp, had Judith, and it had Haste as a second attacker. And Haste is really annoying if you built him properly with effectiveness, with attack and crit, and speed. And that team obviously had it all. His Judith was able to do her S3 and able to push the Haste AoEs and then bleeds everyone and causing unhealable. And it's just crazy from there. I think Sid followed up after and just slaughtered me. I think it was like Sid, Haste, and Sez on the same team. I ended up just dying even just before Sez got a turn. So that inspired me to think about speed teams. And I was talking to one of my friend Terror. He was the one that actually really told me about it. Just like he was playing the arena like way earlier than most of us in my community. So he got to experience this way earlier. He was saying that, oh yeah, there's the tank meta. You kind of like out tank the team so that they die to the punishment, so as a defensive team. And then he's talking about speed meta, and basically he's saying that speed meta right now is still like the way to go, is the who can kill off the DPS first, and whoever can will end up winning. So all the teams set up here in their own sense, it's to keep their DPS alive and then to kill your DPS. So either you go speed or kind of turtle and then counterattack, or even in this top team here, Wokal, his Kise is really annoying because she could remove I think it's like 3-turn cooldown for all your units, and if she's built fast and goes first, then you're gonna instant lose because all of the skills that you saw me do were all focused on S3. So incredibly hard, but it's incredibly fun. So I actually want to talk about my build so far. So I kind of wanted to keep this on the record, make a video, so that later on, you know, when I'm looking into upgrading my units, I have this kind of video to refer back to and saying that, oh yeah, how far I have come from. But so far, this is what I have. So I'll show you guys. So if you guys are actually looking at building a team like this yourself, you might be able to think it. So a lot of the, you know, artifacts I kind of theory crafted myself, like what goes on who and who does what. The team and the kit is kind of identical to others, but hopefully this will inspire you guys to think outside the box. I think it's really fun, definitely really fun. Infinite possibilities in this game. First things first is my Judith, because she goes first. So Judith, she definitely needs some awakening to get enough speed. All right, so she's one of the fastest thieves, not the fastest, but one of the fastest, and because of her S3, able to push the combat readiness. As you can see here, 20%. If you improve this a bit more, obviously you can see that you can get up to 30% combat readiness. I have faced a team that someone has invested all the way to 30%. I don't know if it's necessary you have to go to 30%, but I guess in some battles later on, maybe past Challenger, you would you probably want that. But the S3, as you can see, is really good, and it grants stealth for 1 turn after doing it. So it's kind of good because when she comes back out, she can use her regular attack, which has a 75% chance to stun an enemy. It has helped me so much when I get my second turn. Either stun a healer, let's say Destina, stun a healer, and then on the next turn I can kill off the DPS way easier. So I really love this. I almost want to get this to +2, so it has a 10% chance, effective chance. So it's an 85% chance to stun. As you can see here, I have already a 4 set speed set here. This is my weapon because it has 2 speed. I haven't invested into this weapon or in any weapon that has high speed, so I just put this on her. Otherwise, I wanted an effectiveness kit, or rather a hit set weapon with speed. Even if it's 2 speed, I'm fine with it because I want to get that effectiveness higher. A 20% chance effectiveness in her right now would be awesome. So I'm still waiting for that weapon. Once that's there, her stun will be much more active, which is good. Other than that, this is at a +12 right now. The health is not what I was going for, but just the speed. So I basically gave her all my best speed items, which turned out to be some of my best items. So it's kind of bad. Hopefully I will be able to roll some new speed items in the future to be able to replace this, so I can put this like back onto my DN, etc. But there's a 5 speed there, pretty decent defense, good health obviously, we all get that for free. This boot I rolled, I think from a Wyvern run, it turned out to be awesome, especially for DN. It had an 18% defense, it gave her like a 900, almost 1000 defense really easily with a 35 speed, so that's really good until I can get a T6. Attack 14%, not bad, so it's really good. I can use this boot for like pretty much anyone. But again, I put it on her because of the speed at 35%. I got this from the secret shop, 33% health. Again, this was originally all these 3, the boots, the necklace, and the ring were on my DN instead. But this has a speed at 3. But you can see the main point was the health. Again, I bought this for DN, but 22% defense, another contributor to my DN having such high defense at only at a 5-star. Speed is at 3. I was hoping that, you know, get some lucky rolls, get some more speed in there. It would be really nice. She's currently, as you can see, a total of 205 speed. If I face another Judith in arena, it's a big gamble whether or not I would go first, or I'm going against, like, let's say Judge Kisei or other units, even Scurry. Like, I'd have to gamble. So at the beginning of the video, you saw me, I was already in it because I was like, I'm gambling for this. I'm not gonna begin recording a video that I just enter and I just get owned, because it was like a 50-50. Some Scurries are faster than me. I've ran into them before, so I didn't know what I was expecting. But once I realized that I was going first, I was like, okay, it's safe to make the video. It's safe to talk about this team. Like I said, it's not a perfect team. That's why you have to pick and choose your battles. But it's a really fun team, definitely. At least I'm having fun with it. This one is pretty good, I would have to say. We got this from the raid, but this armor specifically was from the compensation of the raid. Apparently there was a bug before when the raid was released, and you know, the GM was really good at you know, compensating us for, like, pretty much give us everything from the raid itself, the rewards. So, you know, I got this, I rolled it, and I was, this is really good. You know, 11% defense, a 7% health. I think that was actually the stock. It was it came at 7% health there, but it rolled speed like crazy. So it's one of my best speed on speed set armors, which I think is gonna be really awesome. Hopefully, I think ideally, because it's such high speed right now anyway, hopefully by +15 I will roll another speed, because I don't think, you know, at this point, if you roll health or defense, you could just offset it with a better accessory or a better ring, you know, better ring or necklace, if you're trying to build for those things anyway. So I think ideally, if I get lucky, I get another speed roll there. That would be awesome. And I gave her this artifact for now. Basically increase the speed of caster by a certain percent. It's already +9 right now. It's a 1.3. I think it starts at a 1% every time they attack. Stack up to 10 times. So you get a 10 speed. It's still really good. Have it on her because I want her to be usable if the battle runs longer than like a 1-turn KO, right? If it ran longer. So as you saw my because she's stealth, so like unless the team has AoE, she has a higher chance of surviving. And with all my HP gear here, even though she's a 4-star, she has 5,200 HP, which is not terrible at all. And I really didn't build her for much HP stuff. And yeah, so being able to stack that up to a 13 more speed, if I could get 10 hits, obviously that's a big jump. 10 hits, 13 more speed will be incredible. She'll be able to kind of self-sustain and keep pushing my my players every time her cooldown actually ends with her S3, which is right here. Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna invest it to lower to one cooldown. By the time that actually there's 4 turns, either their team should be dead or my team is already dead, because my team is not built on sustainability. It's just built on trying to kill as fast as possible. The second to go was my Yuna here, so I'm gonna look into my Yuna's kit and give you guys an idea of what I have her with. Now, one of the reasons I I built her as she's just at 180 speed right now. There's a T4 but epic, so you get a speed of 35. Now to keep in mind that your epic, your grade of the weapon, grade of your gear versus your tier will definitely change the outcome of what you roll. So it's very important to know that, but it's 35 as you can see as well. It was the same as a T5 epic for Judith. So I'm assuming a T6 epic would give you a total of 40 speed. So that would be the top speed. This has really good health and really good attack as well on a crit chance boot. I forgot where I got this one from. I think I did get it from a Wyvern drop, not even a Wyvern craft, like a Wyvern drop, I think. Attack 18, yeah, health 19, and a critical chance 5, always nice to have. This I bought from the secret shop, a 36 attack, but I think if I remember correctly, it's a 50% attack if I roll it to a +15, if I did my original calculations properly. But it's a good ring, so the substat's a bit lacking, but a critical hit chance of 7 is good enough. And I pretty much built her not just for pure speed, because I don't want her to outspeed Judith, but I wanted her to have also good attack to support. As you saw that I was able to do that by breaking down Assassin Cartouche's barrier. This one is pretty good as well. I think total will be a 50% attack, or maybe 40. I think 50% attack as well. Speed set. Speed is at 3. Hopefully I could roll a bit more speed on it. Critical hit damage I'm not so necessary, but she has pretty decent critical hit damage at 171. Already beats my what's his name? My Sid. Effectiveness at 10%. This might be useful for later on if I swap this maybe to a Sid build or another build that might need effectiveness. I'm not quite sure yet, but hopefully I roll some more speed or critical hit damage. Those are the two I probably want from this one. This doesn't have speed at all. Again, I didn't want to make her too fast. But I think if she hits about like speed 185 to 190, we should still be safe, because I think if you go into arena, your speed between your own units and also the enemy units get like a random roll of 10 plus or minus 10. So it could be anywhere of like so if my or maybe plus or minus 5, total 10 I think. But it could be plus or minus 10. So my Yuna could be at 190 speed or 170 if you're rolling like for both directions. So at some times, we're gonna take a look at my Sid later. At some times my Sid's speed is actually beating Yuna, which actually screws myself up. I think I lowered my Sid speed now to actually make it work, but originally I gave Sid some body armor that had some speed, and it messed up my rotation sometimes. It's random. So for this, I don't have any speed on this armor, but it's a speed set to complete it. This is also a speed set, so as you can see, I'm not completing oh sorry, I have completed my speed set with this. This is pretty good in terms of like the health. I wanted her to be slightly tanky. Effectiveness again not really needed, but this is what I wanted from the attack and the critical hit chance or critical hit damage. And then this has 2 speed, it has a +7 right now, so for speed wise it's not looking too good. I got a couple rolls on flat health, which is not too useful, so I think if I'm looking for a weapon to swap out, I'll probably swap out that one. This artifact was super useful for arena for me. My experience, every time you kill an enemy you get a 10% increase in combat readiness, which really helps my Sez combat his slowness, because my Sez is built with high attack, high crit damage. So if I can ensure the kill with, let's say, Sid, that might be able to, that one kill might be able to boost that combat readiness, my Sid, so my Sez can go before, let's say, someone that can boost their combat readiness. So in the battle that you saw, Moonlight Dominio, I was really worried that she'll go and she'll be able to like one-shot my Sez. I think that's who it should go after. But because I killed off Scurry, this artifact, you know, activated and then pushed my Sez first. So that was 100% like necessary. So I love keeping this for the arena build on my Rangers, so therefore it's on my Yuna. So as we took a look at my Sid here, he would be the one to go next. He's at 160 speed, as you can see. Yeah, I remember I changed out his armor. I think his armor gave him like 5 speed, so 165 speed. It didn't seem like much, but then all of a sudden, actually it might be more than that. Let me see, was it this one? Oh, it was this one. 9 speed, yeah. So it gave him 169 speed total, and I was like, because the critical hit chance to me was like the same, so I would have kept my the same thing. The effectiveness was the same, so I was thinking, okay, you know what, some of his damage scales with speed, so let's give him some more speed. So it gave him 169 speed, and then it made him too fast in some cases. So yeah, ideally my Yuna gets maybe another 5, maybe 10, even 190 speed. I think that shouldn't overlap with Judith too badly, and then Sid can use that, so get a bit more damage with that +9 speed. Judith was down here. That's why I like using the team view. I should filter it better. Let's see here. Let's go team heroes first. Okay, yeah, so my Judith, yeah, 205. So yeah, you have to really refine it once you get to arena and you get really nerdy about it. You have to refine it, and I'm no expert at all, but I just wanted to make this video again to see where I'm at. So maybe 2 months down the road, if I make another arena video, you guys can see where I've shifted, and I can also see myself as a record. Originally I was told to use the Tonfa, and the Tonfa was a good idea, and because I think my Watcher Scurry has it right now. No, he doesn't. Okay, so maybe I could swap to it. So the Tonfa does like additional, I think 10% more damage. Yeah, 10% more damage, and health is 50% or more. So Terror was the one that told me about it, and he was like saying that, you know, 10% extra damage like on someone will ensure that one shot that you really want for Sid. And my experience with it was either I was picking on the wrong team, or that, you know, that 10% just didn't really push it for me. Either I was killing them without it, or, you know, it was such a gamble that I didn't know that I thought that Dust Devil was the better way to gamble. So Dust Devil is obviously the fallback plan, is that if I can't one shot, that if my Sid gets a next turn, he would still be able to, after Yuna's buff, he would still be able to use his break, right, the speed break here. So yeah, so if you have a speed buff, you actually get a better chance of breaking, so breaking the defense. So if you have speed buff, you will have decreased defense to enemy for 1 turn. So it's really important that you know, I use Dust Devil as my gambling. So if I can break and he Dust Devils again, I will one-shot that enemy player unit pretty much for sure, or get their health down so far that Sez will make it much easier to kill. It has saved me a lot more than Tonfa, so I'm pretty much sticking to this. Stats wise, I think I definitely need to improve it a bit more. This is pretty nice. Has a critical hit damage with a 40% critical hit chance. So that 10% critical hit damage is helpful because I have 100% crit. So I think I really want to work on his critical hit damage a bit more. If you could get like up to like about Yuna's 170s, high 170s, maybe 180, I'd be pretty happy with it. This one needs to go. This one needs a major improvement. It's a normal ring, a T5, so its attack is plus 40, but the substats are pretty junky. Critical hit chance is 2, critical hit damage is 4, effect resistance is 9, and then effectiveness is 3. So my plus 15 was my only double roll of a substat, and they gave me an effect resistance. So this one's got to go ASAP. I don't mind it being an attack set or a crit set. I could probably interchange really easily a crit set weapon. Actually, I think I have one that's ready to go, but it's a crit set weapon right now. Yeah, this one, like, I think it would be already better. This is at a plus 6. It's a T4 heroic weapon, so I think it will end up being 180, the same as this epic weapon here. 180 attack, I think. Do I have a T4? No. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. But it already has it has a 5% critical hit chance. Sorry, 3% critical hit chance, but 5% critical hit damage and a 4% effectiveness. So, like, there's really nothing wrong with rolling this. Like, you can't go wrong with any of the numbers here. I don't know what I want to expect from this, but if I run into an attack set ring with a high attack base stat, I'm definitely going to get it. I think that's the missing piece. Once that's on, I can swap for that weapon, and then he would be way more solid. And if I get Yuna's speed up, I can get this, of course, with a better armor, with a better speed. And this helmet as well, I was hoping for this Santa hat to turn out well, but it didn't really turn out that well. Attack at 7, but this attack is at 6. Critical hit chance at 7, this is a critical hit chance at 10. But I don't need that critical hit chance right now. I need to lower it a bit more to make this worthy. It has a 17% effectiveness, so it will help my defense break for him. But the attack is 1% lower, but this has 52 attack. But this has more health, so I don't know. Maybe I'll swap it over. I'll play around with it. Now looking at it, he definitely needs health. You get almost a 200%. You have almost a 200 health additional from the flat itself, and the 10% health. So maybe take a look at this. 200, 10%, another 500 health. Because I'm just doing the base health here should be about 5,000. So another 10% would be another 500, I think, with 1,000 health. So yeah, that would actually increase the survivability by a lot. I'll really consider it. Lower 1% health. I would have to do the calculation. I have to see, you know, because I'm increasing my critical hit chance and it's already capped. So I'll have to play around with it. But I think overall, pretty good. This boot also needs to be upgraded if I can, but it has such good stats that I need here. A 5% health, attack, effect resistance is probably what I don't need here, but critical hit chance is really nice, and attack is 10%. Originally I was saying that I could just swap this for Judith's boot here, but it's a speed set, so that doesn't really work for him. But otherwise it's 14% attack. Hers is a crit set though, so this could work. 18% attack with a 19% health with a 5% crit chance. If I roll another high speed, because Yuna is not my main damage dealer, if I roll another high speed boot, I'll give that to her, and I'll swap that boot from her to Sid. Same set, so it doesn't break my set. It's easy to interchange. About the same health. The critical hit chance is much lower. Yeah, it's much lower. Then I may be able to compensate with that hat, that 10% critical hit chance. Interesting. Yeah, all these numbers is really fun, but I would have to see. And then my Sez, of course, attack 40, not the best, but it's a critical hit chance. boot, I needed this. He has a 129 speed right now, not the fastest, and therefore my Yuna's artifact is really, really important. Key for my Sez to be able to get an attack off, especially with all the speed teams now in the arena. 40% attack, 35% chance of critical hit chance. High attack, high critical hit damage, as you can see in the substats there. This ring as well. Both of these, obviously, you can get from the labyrinth. I think the second labyrinth, you can get both of them. So if you haven't run it, if you're a new player, these are really good. Definitely get them. Critical hit chance is 8% with a 14% critical hit damage, effectiveness 6, all useful for Sez. As you can see, his critical hit damage is 200% at an almost 80% chance to critical hit. So if he does the critical hit, he has a 2 times more damage. So it's really good. Attack is pretty decent. I'm pretty satisfied with it. 3,300. I think if his critical hit chance is a bit higher, critical hit damage is a bit higher, his attack stays about the same, I think I'd be pretty satisfied with it. But his attack comes from his sword here too. I like this because it's 9% effectiveness, 5% health, 12% attack, and 6 speed. Definitely needed. Arguably, I would wish that he would get about 140 speed to make me more comfortable in my setup right now in this team. This I think I rolled from, I don't remember. But critical hit damage, as you can see, is really high. 5% chance to attack. The defense is always nice to have if I want my Sez to actually live. Critical hit chance is pretty low on this, but you know, maybe I should roll this a bit more. Maybe gamble it. You get one more substat roll, plus 15. 7 speed is pretty decent actually on this armor. I just realized this. Is pretty much what's giving him the speed that he needs. Health 11% and effectiveness 6. And again, he has Dust Devil as well. He has a plus 17 Dust Devil because originally I fused a copy of it. Until I got Sid, I realized, oh man, I want 2 Dust Devils. And then I got lucky, I got another Dust Devil, so now both of them have it. But Sid's plus 15, his is 17. Always really good to have both of them having Dust Devil. I have had instances where both of them would proc their Dust Devil in a double attack. So like Sid would go, he would double attack, but Sez would, he would proc his Dust Devil, and then Sez would double attack with a Dust Devil proc. You can actually proc Dust Devil in a double attack. So it ended up being 4 attacks, and it just slaughtered. So it was really good. Anyways, that's it for now. That's it for this video. It's a 30-minute long ramble. This is my team arena. It's a fun team for me right now, and you know, I've been looking at who to 6-star next. I don't know if I want to make Judith into a 5-star. I don't think it's necessary. She doesn't gain any speed from it. Yuna, I'm not 100% sure I want to make her 6-star yet either. Until she gets higher damage, I'll have to see if it's worth investing in. But another thing I'm working on, and maybe this is for a future video, is Watcher Scurry. Watcher Scurry, obviously, most of you guys would know that he's a PvP monster. He should be able to one-shot anyone that's annoying, like Crow even, if they're not built really strong. He should be able to one-shot most healers under 15,000 HP, depending how you build him. And I've been told that he can one-shot Moonlight Ken very easily. So Moonlight Ken, one of the most feared units in the arena. Watcher Scurry should be able to kill them. So I kind of want to invest in him, and also Rose. So if I'm gonna build a team with Watcher Scurry and Rose, it would probably still be Judith for speed, get the combat readiness up, and then Rose should be able to also increase combat readiness with her skill as well, also in attack. So combat readiness by 15. I don't know if it's worth getting her max here to another 10, 25. But you know, maybe each percent counts if you're fighting at really, you know, really hard arena teams. But an extra boost. So basically the idea is Judith boost CR, and then she would boost CR while buffing attack. And then by that point, you should have your DPS ready to attack, even if they're low in speed, because you got 2 CR boosts. So Scurry here, I'm not quite sure what to build them as, but I really want to try Destruction Set. I haven't really gotten my knees deep into Destruction Set, but I want to see how far that can take me. Maybe Destruction Set boot with attack, or maybe speed, I'm not quite sure. Destruction Set ring with pure attack as the main stat. Destruction Set necklace with a critical hit chance, maybe destruction set one of the headgear, chest piece, or the weapon, and then a critical hit chance set for the other two. And hopefully I could get really high attack even from that. I don't know though, so I'm not quite sure. But basically, what you want to do is you want to use this S3 enhance. It penetrates defense 100%. So like no defense matter. It just gives straight damage. So arguably you want your attack high. Obviously you want your critical hit chance, and if you want a critical chance high, you want your critical hit damage to be high too. So it's gonna be tough to build him, I think. And for him, 100%, I would use Exorcist Tonfa, because the idea is, again, you want to one-shot the DPS. So for that team, I think I would build replace Yuna with Rose, and replace, I don't know who I want to replace for Scurry in the team that I talked about. Ideally, I would want an AoE damage dealer in there in the mix. If eventually I pull Haste, I would probably run that team. Judith, Rose, Watcher, Scurry, and Haste. I'd probably see how that works. Anyways, I'm going to end that there. Hopefully this has been informative or entertaining. And then let me know what you guys, what you guys are running in the arena. I would love to hear your theory crafts or your team build and comps. For those of you who are knee-deep into Epic 7 and the arena especially. And like I said, I am new. I'm still learning in the arena here. But I am very happy that I'm able to stay in Challenger for such a long time. But I think eventually I'm definitely not going to be able to last too long. I need more improvements on my units. Anyways, I'm gonna end that there. So if you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.